Mount Rushmore is like Niagara Falls, Washington, D.C. Are they too common to sell? Is what I always Welcome back to SMPostcards, the best place on YouTube to learn about postcard reselling. Today's video got the what sold. I sold 19 cards on eBay. And for the special topic, special postcard, Mount Rushmore postcards. The mountain with all the 4 presidents on it. I got some facts about that and some interesting pricing for those. I see them all the time in boxes and I've been bypassing them. One of the things when I went through and did the sell-through rate kind of surprised me, and I'll get into that. Then I have one of the polls to go over, just my opinion on things and some comments from people on, do you pack and ship orders on Saturdays? U.S. post offices are open on Saturdays. So do you pack and ship on Saturdays, or do you take the weekends off? We'll see what everybody said. And then I got like 3 viewer comments to go over, just comments left from people, and I'll share my thoughts on those. And that'll be at the end of the video. I always want to stick around for those. But let me go ahead and get started on these what sold postcards. And remember, it's about the postcards, the variety of postcards, more than the price, even though the price is good. But you'll see some different ones today and different price ranges, and I do have some multiple orders as well. First one sold. This one I just listed this morning, and I got into a bunch of international cards. They must have been in the lot I bought or whatever. I don't do much internationals, so I usually price them low and get them out there, and it's doing what I want. I just want to move them. Somebody got a good deal on this one. This is an RPPC. It's got some damage down at the bottom, some little dots, or like they ripped it or something, or ran it through something. But this is posted. It's Custom House, Dublin, Ireland. Sold for $45. Get it out of here. Exactly what I wanted. The next card sold for $6.88. I must have sent an offer. This is the sparring match on Forecastle USS Man of War. I have a lot of these different types of cards like this Man of War stuff, and that's about where they sell $6 to $7 on there. It's a divided back card, good card stock. Not a bad card to sell. Next order was 2 cards sold to a gentleman, and these I just listed this week, and these came from that auction that I bought the movie things with and stuff like that. Those 2 albums. The El Rancho Motel right here, that sold for $5. A little over $5.08 since I sent an offer. And then he bought another hotel. This is the Montmartre Motel in Mojave, California. Another motel. So both of these together was $10.16. Next card sold for looking south on Michigan Avenue in the Wrigley building. I used to work, I probably put a phone system in almost every one of those buildings or worked on one. It's right down in north end of Michigan Avenue. It's a linen card, posted 1941. Sold $4 to $5. Next card is some river in Shenandoah National Park. View card, $4 to $5. They do sell. They do take a long time to sell, but people do look for things like that, and they'll buy them. This is Green Lake. It's deepest lake in Wisconsin. Okay, $4 to $5. Next one is another multiple order. This person bought 4 cards, and guess what they are? They're boats, ships. These are the prints. They're on lighter card stock. This is the Kentucky. It says right down in the bottom here, real small. It's got a little curve to it, just the way they've been stored over the years. But that one sold. Then he purchased the USS Connecticut, and that club put a whole bunch of stuff about that ship on the back of those. USS Connecticut. Another print. This is Louisiana, USS Louisiana. And then he Battleship Louisiana. Same thing, it's got all that information on there. All those together, 4 cards, $18.20. And all those will be packed up as eBay standard info for probably 1 ounce or just under 2 ounces. Next card, Elbow Beach Surf Club, Paget, Bermuda, $4 to $5. It's from that Mary Martin sale. Next one, this sold for $5.55, and this is the Atlantic Hotel, Norfolk, Virginia, and this came out of album 7 of that private collection that I purchased a while ago. I'm going to be doing a year update, a little over a year update soon on where I'm at with that. I'm still tracking it, and remember, I wanted to see how long it would take to get back my money and how much I make over time. When you buy those lots, this will show you how long it does take to make what you want. Atlantic Hotel, Norfolk, Virginia. Nice card. It's got some stuff on the back. It's got a little crease along the side, but not bad. So that sold $5.55. Next one is a Postcard. These boats are always cool. The Postcard cutter midget. USCGC midget. $4 to $5. One of my regular buyers from the United Kingdom. He buys stuff every week, it seems like. I'm always sending something over there. He knows how it works. I think never had a problem with it, and he buys a lot of these photos, and this is the Rapford. It's 120, and the only thing I knew, someone wrote on the back Rapford, and that helped determine. So it's a 3x5 photo, $8.55, plus whatever it costs to ship over to UK. Next one is the Brunt Island Lighthouse, Boothbay Harbor, Maine. Lighthouses do sell, they do take a while. That one sold $4 to $5. Next card is a cave, Leamington Cave, Bermuda. Another Bermuda card, $4 to $5. I didn't price that up because it's a cave for over there. And the last, nope, I got a couple here. I got this multiple order, sold for $9.10. Someone bought 2 of these ships, they're the same. It's the USS Vincent's. This ship was actually torpedoed and it was sunk. So that's the ship right there. And I sold both of those for $9.10, and I have 62 left of these in the box to go. Next one's from album 7 of that collection again, and this sold for $10.55, the last card in the batch here. This is Cottages at Colonel O.H. Payne Estate, SMPostcards, New York. Right there, $10.55 I got for that card, divided back. So all together, I had 19 cards for a total dollars of $113. Average sale price was $5.94 each. My average card per day so far this year is 13. So it did go up some, and my goal is 14. So I'm not far away from that, and I'm over 60% now on the days that I had $70 a day, which was my goal. So that's a nice, easy goal to meet without working day and night and stuff. So $113 for 19 postcards. No problem here. Now let's get into Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is like Niagara Falls, Washington, D.C. Are they too common to sell, is what I always thought. So I thought, there was a lot of Washington, D.C.'s. There's a lot of Niagara Falls out there. But wait till we get into the sell-through rate. It'll surprise you a little bit. But I'm going to give you some facts here on Mount Rushmore. We're actually going to take a trip out west. We're thinking about this year is drive out to Rapid City and the Badlands and stuff. I did some work in Fargo and some other places. They called me out there. I was a Midwest specialist, and my region covered that. So when they had problems with their systems that they could not fix with the original text, then they would call me in, and then I would take care of it. So I'd have to drive like to Fargo. They'd call me on a Sunday night, say, hey, we need you in Fargo on Monday afternoon. So it's like calling the travel agency and go. And back in those days, we didn't have the GPS. We just had a map book and stuff. Be down in St. Louis. I need you over here. I need you in Texas. You just go wherever they called you, and I made a lot of money out in the field, and I would probably still be doing it, but with kids and families and getting older, that road warrior stuff, it's really good money, and they take care of you. But man, the hours and the time you spend in the airports and traveling. But I got paid mileage, windshield time. So if I'm portal to portal, from the time I left my house to the time I got home, I got paid for it. So not a bad case. But Mount Rushmore National Memorial is a massive sculpture carved into Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills region of South Dakota. Completed in 1941 under the direction of Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln. The sculpture's roughly 60-foot high granite faces depict U.S. Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The site also features a museum and interactive exhibits. The idea of creating a sculpture in the Black Hills was dreamed up in 1923 by South Dakota historian Dohan Robinson. He wanted to find a way to attract tourists to the state. I think it helped. Mount Rushmore is now visited by nearly 3 million people annually. And this year might be 3 million and one. Or two. 3 million and two with me and my wife going. The carving of Mount Rushmore began in 1927 and finished in 1941. The actual carving was done by a team of over 400 men. A lot of them were miners that came out there looking for gold in the back hills, and they decided to hire on with this gentleman and do this work. George Washington was chosen because he was the nation's founding father. Thomas Jefferson was chosen to represent expansion because he was the president who signed the Louisiana Purchase and authored the Declaration of Independence. Theodore Roosevelt was chosen because he represented conservatization and the industrial blossoming of the nation. Abraham Lincoln was chosen because he led the country through the Civil War and believed in preserving the nation at any cost. The carving was originally meant to include bodies of the presidents down to their waist. So when you look in the museum, they actually have a picture on the web that shows that they wanted to go down farther. They ran out of money. The Hall of Records is a little-known chamber behind the carvings at Mount Rushmore National Memorial. It is mentioned in the movie National Treasure: Book of Secrets, featuring Nicolas Cage. The Hall of Records was meant to be a vault containing the history of the nation and the vital records like the Constitution. So when the sculpture was working on that, the government found out and said no. And Congress said, we want the funding to go on the carvings of the presidents, not the Hall of Records. So he had to stop, and that gentleman passed away before he could finish that. There is new tablets and stuff carved in granite that's in there to fulfill some of his wishes, but it never fulfilled everything he would want it to do. And I showed you a picture of that little doorway. It's closed off to visitors, they said, on there. But there's stuff on the web about it. The overall project cost $989,922.32 and took 14 years to finish. So that's the history of Mount Rushmore. People take it for granted a little bit, just like the White House or the Capitol or stuff like that. But it is something to see. I have never seen it. My wife has when she was very young. So we wanted to go out there. But you'd think there'd be a lot of these, right? Let's go through the sell-through rate here. Sell-through rate is, what's the sell-through rate of the cards? How fast do they sell? And are they good sellers or do they sit? I go out there and I type in postcard space Mount Rushmore. And I click on sold and it tells me it's sold. And then I unclick sold and it tells me to list it. Here's the numbers I come up with. And I did it a couple times, different ways, and it kept coming up with the same close numbers. It only showed 88 sold, which I believed that a little bit, but only 1,900 listed. So do people not list these cards because they think they're too common? And because of their sell-through? I do have some in my store I've listed, but I know I don't list them all the time. But only 1,900. So the sell-through rate did come out to be 5%. So it's an average selling card. But there's just not a lot out there. I just thought there would be more than 1,900. That's what surprised me. You take and you bounce this up against something else. 5% doesn't mean anything to you until you measure it against other cards and postcards. You can't measure it to bread makers and VCRs and DVDs. You got to do apples for apples is what I think. Oranges for oranges. So I went out there and I got sell-through rates for these states. Postcard Idaho is 9% at the top of the list. Nevada is 8%. California is 6%. And Massachusetts 4%. So this falls down in the bottom, below average a little bit, but it's kind of like in the middle there. So they're not bad selling cards. They're just regular average cards. But what are the prices of these things? But I still can't believe there's only 88 sold and 1,900 listed. That was tough to swallow with that one. So a 5% sell-through rate. Here's the prices. High. They don't go for a lot. Now I did see a couple RPPCs out there that were a little higher, but some of those didn't even go real high either. I'm sure there's some probably rare ones out there that I overlooked. But here's one. This is a measurement. This is like a postcard with some measurements on there. Those seem to do a little bit better. And that's a real photo. And it sold free shipping. And they took a best offer. So probably $6, $7 for a real photo of George Washington's nose measured on Mount Rushmore. Then there's this other one I found. It's the Corn Palace, South Dakota Mount Rushmore mural on the Corn Palace. So you're going to see Mount Rushmore stated in postcards, but they're in murals or reflections and stuff like that. I saw a lot of that. $7, free shipping. That sold just about as much as the RPPC. Next one is the Mount Rushmore Memorial View building. I guess there's like a terrace you can walk on. It's the best view. And then there's the President's Walk, about a half a mile, and you got to walk up like 400 steps, and you get a good view of the mountain. $6, free shipping. So all of those are selling about the same. Usually the RPPCs are higher and some more different ones, but for the highs, they're running about $5, $6 with free shipping. Then we get over to the low. And this is more what I'm thinking, but not this low. Here's one for 46 cents and $1 shipping. So for $1.40 in an auction, so with two bids, someone bidded on these 46 cents. And this was one I found with a little banner like stuck on there. It was a nice depiction of Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, $1.99. And then here's another RPPC, it looks like, $2.99. See what I mean? That's probably why there's only 88 sold and 1,900. They just don't hit the normal RPPCs, and some of the stuff just doesn't sell. There's just maybe no fascination with these, or it's just too common. So those are the solds. Out of the 88 out there, this is what I picked out, and a little odd. I mean, let's go look at what these people are listing. Now, we just did the solds. We went from high to low, and we just educated ourselves in less than 5 minutes. What are these people looking at? $29.99, $25.46, $18.95. That top one is $30 plus $4 shipping, basically. So $34 for a Mount Rushmore linen card. That other one is like $27, $28. And then Abraham Lincoln's nose is almost over $20. They ain't gonna sell. There's nothing, these are normal cards to me. What I looked at on here, there's nothing here that's anything more than ones we saw on there. And then you get into listed low, they're selling for what they're putting. $1.05, 45% off. Best offer. What else can they do? Hand deliver it to get that there? $1.95. Another one, 41% off, I think it is. Or just a lot of percent off. Buy it now. You can even have a coupon on there. So that's a neat one. It's got a flag in the background and stuff like that. $1.95. Then a 99-cent one with like a 90 cents shipping or whatever. Has a little story on the side there. So there's a lot of variations of Mount Rushmore. But those people are listing these things for $25, $30, $40. Those are common cards. I can tell you, I don't even have to think about it. I know they're not going to sell at that price, when I can go out there and find these things for $1.95 or 46 cents in an auction on there. But what are these people thinking? We learned that in 5 minutes. Would you list Mount Rushmore cards? I have. I don't do it that often. Or I have a lot of them. It depends on the scene. If I haven't seen it before, I'll probably put it up. But it won't go for $30. Even RPPCs on there. But it's just surprising me about that with Mount Rushmore. And I brought that up because you're going to see these in the boxes. If they're a pick-through lot and people aren't picking out Mount Rushmore, you're going to see those in Washington, D.C., Niagara Falls in the lots. That brings the price of the lot down. And I'll talk about that here in a minute in the viewer comments about how I think of the prices of postcards and lots and stuff. But that's Mount Rushmore. Very simple. Be careful with them. Don't pay a lot, because they don't go for a lot, even the RPPCs. Who knew? Now we get into the poll. I always grab a poll or some data stuff here. I think the last one video I did some stuff on how long does it take to sell a postcard. I'm still working on that. I'm going to see if I can get a closer answer by soon. I'm still tracking it. If you haven't seen that video, I'm tracking what boxes my postcards sell out of, and I can do that, and it tells me, I know what my first card was and what the dates of the first card in each box are, so it gives me a date on there. And so far it shows when I list cards, they usually sell right away and get my money back in the first 3-4 months, and then in the 6-7 months a lot sell, and then it kind of goes down and people just kind of sprinkle out after that. So what we were thinking, I think, is they sell new cards, sell at first, you just put them up and they kind of slide down on there. So I hope that curve gets more defined throughout the year as I track that, and I'll share it every so often. But the poll is, do you pack and ship on Saturdays? Do you pack and ship orders on Saturdays? And this can go different ways. Some people say, no, I don't work weekends. They feel entitled. And then some people say, no, we started this business, we work Monday through Friday, and we take Saturday and Sunday off. Fine. And I'm there. It's the people that sit there and feel entitled that these people can wait. If you have a normal business and you say Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, that's all we're working, and you have a normal life. That's the fun of reselling, not working day to night. You don't have to work from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. Some big sellers do that, and they think that's the only way it's done. No, if you're productive and you have a plan, you have set hours, that's it. You don't go to work for somebody else working day and night. You got a family to take care of. You got things to do. You're making this money to go spend it to do things that are fun. Enjoy it and stuff. That's where you want to get to. That, to me, that's where slowing down this year is where I want to get to more. And still make a little bit of money to do the things that have fun. Really, to ship on Saturdays, for me, it's no big deal. I come down, get a cup of coffee, turn the TV on, pack up the cards, put them in the mailbox. No big deal. They pick them up on Saturdays. Sometimes I might have to run to the store or something. I'll just drop them off and check the P.O. box on Saturdays. But I ship 6 days a week. I'd do it Sunday too if they were open, if I was home. It doesn't take me long, a half hour in the morning. But I also see it from a standpoint, everything we do as a reseller, all that hacks out there, all the getting the listings right, the titles, all the little things, and promoting, answering questions all the time on your phones, and doing all this stuff, it's getting to the point of a sale. And once it sells, it's not over with. You got to pack it and ship it. That is the most important part to me. I have 1-day shipping because they buy it. I'm getting it out as soon as possible on there. And some days, if I get a few orders in it, I'm going out, I'll pack them up before I leave. I'll check, hey, I got any postcards sold? Sure, I got 5 here. I'll pack them up real quick and I'll bring them with me and drop them off in the blue box. Or if I have a toy that's sold, I'll drop the package off at the post office the same day. Now it's over a certain time of day and I'm not going out or anything. It can wait till tomorrow morning. And sometimes it's good to let it wait because they come back and buy more cards. I've had that happen too, but more often than not, I'll pack it up and bring it over if I'm going out or something. It's one way or the other. But if someone not doing it, it's fine. If you do it, it's okay too. It's your business. But I did get some comments from people on there. I grabbed 4 of them just to see what other people are saying as well. Now Kevin, the postcard guy, he has a YouTube channel as well out there, so you want to go and check that. He's got a bunch of RPPCs he's been going through on there and stuff like that. So Kevin's been selling for a long time, and he has that channel. So always go out and check these other postcard channels. There's Julie, Popeye, a whole bunch of other ones out there, and we all do it a little different on it, with stuff. But Kevin, postcard guy, I list new cards and prepare shipments of solds 7 days a week. I have a 6-day standing pickup at our house for ongoing postcard shipments. So he's got a system. He says, hey, my business is 7 days a week. He's put it there. I work 7 days a week. No entitlement or anything like that. It's just, hey, I wake up, I'm going to pack my cards and get it ready. They already have it all set up to pick up. That's how you be productive. Just get it out the door. Get it in the system. You got to get those cards into the postal system. Thanks, Kevin. Pain Rider Collectibles. Sometimes on Saturdays. Depends on what is planned for Sunday. With one-day shipping turned on, it is best to keep pace, especially this winter as we lost power a few times. Yeah, you got those other things in it too. So if you get some out there early and you lost some in a few, I see what he's saying there on that. Thanks, Payne. Then Alex, I pack and ship every day because I get anxious. Knowing I will have 70 items to pack up on Monday, I sleep better knowing it's taken care of. Yeah, but I remember those days when I was, having 20 to 60 packages going out, and a lot of them were toys. I mean, they would bring a special van to the house every day, almost, to pick up my packages, and I would fill the van, the post office. And the postmaster would call me personally, because I was one of the biggest residential shippers for them, and they always had different offers for me and stuff. But yeah, I would pack up as they come in every night, and for the next morning as much as possible on there. And I see what he means. And you do sleep better when you know you're caught up, so you don't have to have that rush. Because that van showed up at 9 in the morning, between 9 and 9:30 here. And if I didn't have him out there, then I would have to drag him to the post office. Lou Ortez, on Saturday mornings, I only ship orders that came in overnight. Any orders that arrive after 8 a.m. can wait to be shipped out on the following day. Thank you for your informative videos. You're welcome. Yeah, a lot of people have a cutoff. They'll say after I pack them up, if anything else comes in, I'll get it the next day. We have one-day shipping. I mean, it's fine. Whatever your system is, just set it. You don't have to, and if you want to do it extra, that's fine too. But getting it into the system and so, I just wanted to see how many people do that. But if you're Monday through Friday, that's your business, and you cut it off on the weekends, hey, that's great. You can make your numbers Monday through Friday. These customers will wait over the weekend. We're not on 24 hours a day. You don't have to answer a message during dinner to sell an item. If you're at that point, you might want to pull back a little bit, and there's other things to do than just resell, is what I always tell myself. You can really get caught up in owning your own business and stuff, but to have sustainable, repeatable processes like Kevin here does, and Payne and Alex and Lou, makes it a lot easier. So you kind of know when to start, when to stop, because you have to be disciplined in that area. And I've owned many businesses in my life and managed a lot of stuff, and you've got to have other things to do than just your job. It's not healthy. So now if you're in the dumps on sales and stuff like that, you need to put a little extra time in, yeah, that's when you jump in. But you want to have the energy to do that. And if you're using all your energy every day just to make some arbitrary numbers, not what you need, by the time that comes, you're already burned out. So you want to have that little burst. So that's just me thinking from past experience. But that's the poll, and thank everybody for commenting and participating. And I will use all these at the end of the year again to do the best practices. Remember, it's not defined by eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Posh, whatever. It's more defined by what we do. That's the best practice, because a majority of people are not going to do anything that doesn't work. So right now, 74% of the people here pack and ship on Saturdays. So if you don't do it, just know that your competition is doing it. Viewer comments. Comments come in from YouTube, email, or wherever, and I just put them up here and talk about them. I do answer them as many as possible. I think I've answered almost everything that comes in. I can keep up pretty well. The first comment came in. It was an eBay question. Do you think 200-ish for a 1,000 card lot is on the high end or just right? Been trying to source cards, but I keep getting outbid by a huge amount and found a few buy it now for like $200 to $250. And trying to decide to pick one of those up or not. I still have about 1,000 cards to list, so I'm not hurting yet, but I like to have a little stockpile waiting to be gone through. Everybody's been at that point. You look at your pile over there listing, where am I going to be in 6 weeks? I'm not going to have anything to list. My sales are going to drop. Oh God, I'm going to go bankrupt. Things go through your mind, which isn't good. You're your worst enemy. But this is a great question, and I answered back. I think 200 is high for a 1,000 card lot. I start out at $100. I don't even put shipping in it. It's $100 for a 1,000 card lot. That's my starting thing. Then I look through the lot. I go up or I go down. If I see a lot of courthouses, post offices, Mount Rushmores, Washington D.C.'s, and stuff in there, and I notice it's been picked through, I go down. It's got to be 50% or more sellable good cards in there for me to pay $100 for a 1,000 card lot. I have enough filler cards. Now, when people are just starting out, they might need a little bit more filler cards to get some things moving. But for me, it's got to have some good cards in there for a lot. If they're really good cards, like there's a lot of different places, motels, things that I really pick on and I know that sell, Disney, stuff like that in there, I might go to $150. To be $200 in there, yeah, you can go there if it's the only thing, that's what the market is bearing, and there's good cards in there, you could bump it up. But I pretty well start at 100 and I go back and forth and see where it's at in the lots. So I do think 200 is a little high, and they are going high on eBay right now. But just remember, those are probably picked through lots. Whoever's selling that lot, check the seller and look at their store. If they got postcards in there, you know for sure that lot has been picked through. I'll leave it up between you and the seller, but I don't buy from lots from other resellers that sell postcards that often, because they've been picked through. Unless I'm looking for certain cards, and I do work in an area where they will not, a lot of them, and I'll pick up some good cards because they don't sell the $4 to $6 cards like I do. Those are the sellers you want. If you look in their store and they got all $30 to $120 RPPCs and that's it, you know they've left some scraps for you to pick up. But if they got the same cards that are in the lot out there, and they got thousands of cards up, you know those are their spoils. But spoils can be good sometimes, but you don't want to pay a lot for them because they're going to be long tail. That's where I started, and that's what I said to them is in there. And I think this person came back and said they live in a small community, they don't have access to stuff, they have to source online. So you're kind of stuck there too. So every situation's a little different, not just like mine. But $100 is where I start. He might have to look at $150, start there, because he does it online, then he's got shipping. So you want to add that in too. Postcards are heavy. One of those white boxes is 10 pounds. 1,700, 800 postcards are 10 pounds. So you're talking 10 to 12 pounds to get that shipped to you. So great question. Stuff like that, I can tell you what I do, but maybe someone else can comment in here on how they look at it as well. Postcards and more. Laura, big congratulations. Your hard work is so appreciated. I have a lot of comments from this little post I did in the community. I thought I would share it, and I appreciated everybody that commented. And I picked out Laura's thing here just as one example. I couldn't put them all up here, but I appreciate everybody that has supported the channel through the time as we're going through and creating this community of postcard sellers and a place to come and talk about it. But I got this. I hit 100,000 views. Just think if you put 100,000 people around your house, how many people would that be? Or 1,000? It was amazing. When I don't track a lot of these numbers. When that came in, I got 100,000. Now that's not subscribers. This is just people clicked on and viewed part of the video or all of the video on there and stuff like that. So that was an achievement. And vidIQ, I must have signed up or something one time with them. They send out when I hit milestones. So I'll share them as they go. But that's amazing. I was just astounded when I saw that. I didn't think it was that popular yet. Hopefully it keeps growing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It lets other people on YouTube know about it. If you hit the like button, it lets other people know about the channel, and we keep growing and keep growing on there. And we get more people coming in that sell postcards or want to. We want to get more people into this. There's a lot of people we're losing in the postcard world, and we want to get more people into it. But thanks again, Laura, and everybody. Really appreciate it. Last question. Thanks for putting out the videos. You're welcome. I normally watch them while I listen to postcards. Yeah, that's kind of why I do them all in one. Because I know when I'm listening to postcards, I kind of look on YouTube or TV or something. I want to find something that's long. I don't want to stop listening and click, stop listening and click. And I also have YouTube Premium. I pay for that. What that is, they called it YouTube Red, I think, at one time. YouTube Premium, you can pay Google, I think it's $9 a month, where you don't get the ads. I don't have any control about the ads when they play them or anything like that, to a point on there. But Premium, I don't get the ads. And I've had Premium for a long time, so when I watch something, I don't have to stop and skip the ads. So you might want to check in the Google Premium on there and stuff. And some people say, well, how did the YouTubers get paid for that? There's a fund out there for Premium, and everybody gets a little piece of it. Depends on how much a Premium person thing. I think there's a little cut Google gets and like that, but I see it on my sheet that says premium viewers or ads, income. It's not much, I can tell you that, but it says premium on there. So if you not want the ads, get the Google Premium or Google Red. It's refreshing to find a channel that is not all about negative side of reselling. If you know me by now, I'm not that type of person to go out there and bang heads with anybody or have conversations about that stuff. I just deal with it as it comes. I've learned 3 things you got to do in reselling or business over 40 years customer service. You got to deal with change. You can't fight some of it. If eBay makes a change, there's really not much. They own the site. They got a plan. A lot of the changes you see have been planned out there for a couple of years or a year in a development plan. Goes through a lot of cycles to get there. Next thing is feedback. Opinions of people mean something. You get 1,000 feedback and you get 999 good ones, and people dwell on that one bad one. It doesn't mean, everybody says it doesn't mean as much as it does. You need to look at it, but it's just another gauge to say how you're doing. But don't let it drive your business decisions. People will leave an opinion, just like you leave an opinion. Some people are strong on certain things. And returns. It's going to happen. Returns, it's just part of it. So you will get returns. You will get bad feedback or neutrals. Not all going to be good. And change is going to happen. Just be flexible. Have processes in place that you can change. Foresee some of it and stuff like that. Also, watching you, I've learned so much and made a lot of better decisions on buying and selling. Good. That's what I'm trying to help people with, and I learn just as much as you by doing these videos and talking to people. So it's just not me here. It's driven by the community. Keep the videos coming. 2023, I got them planned out for a whole year. I do make a few changes here and there on request, but I already have a schedule set out. But thanks everybody for leaving the comments, and again for all the support for 2022. Super excited about this year, and we'll keep it going. But YouTube's going to give you a video here that they think you need to watch. Click on this and watch this one next. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.